Hi there, this is Josh from Literary Gladiators, and I'm here to announce my Big Book Bowl poll nominee. Swan Song by Robert R. McCammon. We've gone over Eat Me, a short story of McCammon's on our channel back in Season 7, and this past year I read Boy's Life by McCammon, and both were amazing and brilliant works. Swan Song is McCammon's standalone magnum opus, and this also picked up attention by being nominated for the Great American Read. And I'm really intrigued and interested in going over this book on our channel. It has to do with survivors in post-apocalyptic America and a supernatural demon that is particularly looking to go after a girl by the name of Swan, who is among them. There are other bands of survivors, and this book explores each of them. It is somewhat reflective of books like Stephen King's The Stand and Cormac McCarthy's The Road, but I feel that McCammon is so frequently overlooked. He is often classified as a horror writer. He himself does not classify himself as that, but nevertheless, I feel that there needs to be more attention brought to McCammon's books and works, and hopefully we can do that on our show, and hopefully you will be able to give this book a vote.
Hi everyone, this is Jessie from Literary Gladiators, and today I'm going to quickly talk to you about The Terror by Dan Simmons. So this is the book that won the poll, or at least my poll, for the Big Book Bowl. So I'm going to need everybody to take a lovely look at one of my favorite books of all time. This is actually number 3 on my list of favorite books of all time. It is an excellent read. It's not only a historical book, but it's also a fantastically chilling and suspenseful fictional book. It's very beautifully written, very chilling. It's super spooky and suspenseful and just awesome. It's a great book about the Franklin expedition of 1845 that went missing up in the Arctic in search for the I believe it's the Northeastern Passage, I think is what it's called. Yes, and they never came back. So this is a nice fictional tale of what may or may not have happened to them. They get stuck in the ice, which has been confirmed. But not only are their rations poisoned because they were contaminated and now they have nothing to live on, they're also being hunted by something on the ice. So there's a lot that's not working for the Franklin expedition. So the Terror is the name of one of the ships. There's also the HMS Erebus. So it's 2 ships, a lot of characters, which is fun to keep track of. But, it's an excellent book, guys. I highly recommend you vote for The Terror because I really, 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 really want to read it again and talk about it. Terror by Dan Simmons. Vote for it.
Hi, this is Larry with Literary Gladiators, and I am here to enter my winning nominee for the Big Book Bowl, which is coming up soon. And I have entered the winning selection from the preliminary round, which is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. This is a 19th century work that deals with the universal and ever-present theme of revenge. It's withstood the test of time as a great story that reflects upon the decisions that people make and what those decisions can ultimately lead to, as far as what it can do for our own lives and the decisions that we make and the decisions that are made and the impact that it can have on others. So revenge is is a much treated premise for works of fiction. You got Hamlet, which is probably the most elongated over history treatment of the theme. And then the Count of Monte Cristo is probably the second longest that I can think of anyway. So it's an important work in that it has withstood the test of time, which means that it has a lot to say and that people still find it useful today. It's still very popular work. So I hope that we will get a chance to look at it. There are 3 other nominees. I'm sure you'll check out those videos and make your selection. Thank you. And
hi, it's Josh here with Tori's nomination for the Big Book Ball poll. Tori's just been very tied up recently with a lot of things going on, but she will be back in no time. But she did want me to talk about her nomination for the Big Book Ball poll, and that is Arrowsmith by Sinclair Lewis. Sinclair Lewis won the Pulitzer Prize with Arrowsmith in 1926, and he's also the first American to win the Nobel Prize in Literature, which he achieved in 1930. Arrowsmith pertains to the title character Martin Arrowsmith, who loves science, and he aspires to become a doctor or a researcher, but he comes across the hurdle in a society where people have their own prerogatives and agendas, that doing a outstanding and legitimate job as a doctor or scientist or researcher can get very tricky and difficult. The one thing that stuck out to Tori, and she wanted me to share, is that Sinclair Lewis commissioned another person to concentrate on the science writing in this piece, and knowing her, she's definitely going to harp in on that aspect and several other aspects as she explores this particular book. And she wants to encourage you to give this book a vote. These are the 4 nominees for the Big Book Ball poll. Swan Song by Robert McCammon, The Terror by Dan Simmons, Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas, and Arrowsmith by Sinclair Lewis. Whichever one interests you the most, please give it a vote. You are allowed 1 vote total, be it on here, on our Instagram, on Goodreads, or on our Facebook group page. And this poll will remain open until Saturday, January 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And the one with the most votes in every area will be the big book that we discuss during Season 12 of Literary Gladiators. Thank you, and keep reading.